which is the gonad, which is the testes, and accessory sexual organs. Accessory sexual organs basically consist of internal sexual organs and external sexual organs. Okay? This part right here, I talked about it in the recorded lecture that's going to be posted. Now we're going to be starting here, the external male reproductive organs, which basically consist of the scrotum, which is a sac-like structure that encases the paired testes, and also consists of the penis as well. Scarcity here. Scarcity, are you here? Did anybody have a hard time getting into WebEx?
Yes. No.
What was it doing?
It just wouldn't load. It was like it would show up and then it would say can't load and it would shut off. And I had to like clear it out and go back in a couple times.
I had to do the same thing with mine. This is Deliana.
Yeah. All right, cool. Give me 1 second. Okay. So let's go back here. All right. All right, so the scrotum. So this is, the scrotum is a pouch of skin. Scrotum is a pouch of skin and subcutaneous tissue, which is located behind the penis. The subcutaneous tissue, by the way, does not have any fat. Okay. The dartus muscle. This is a smooth muscle located inside the subcutaneous tissue. The dartus muscle is important because what it does is it contracts and relaxes in response to temperature changes. And the reason why it does that is to keep the testes at optimal temperature for sperm production and survival. Now, the optimum temperature for sperm production and survival is actually 5 degrees Fahrenheit below body temperature, This is why the testes during embryology or during embryogenesis, they descend. They actually descend, okay? The medial septum divides the scrotum into 2 chambers, and each chamber itself is lined with a serous membrane. And inside each chamber, we find the testes and the epididymis. Testes and the epididymis. Penis, again, the penis conveys both urine and semen through the urethra, as opposed to the female urethra, which only conveys urine, okay? Now, the penis has a specialized erectile tissue, and it consists of 3 parts: body, which is the shaft, glans penis, and the foreskin. Okay, the body contains 3 columns of erectile tissue. 3 columns of erectile tissue. 2 of them are called the corpora cavernosa, and 1 is the corpus spongiosum, which actually surrounds the urethra, The glans penis, this is the distal enlargement of the corpus spongiosum, and the foreskin is the covering of the glans penis. This is the part that's actually removed during circumcision. And circumcision is a good medical practice because it decreases risk of urinary tract infections. So here you can see the cavernosa. These two circles is the cavernosa. This one is the spongiosum, which in the middle you can see the opening for the urethra. So erection, orgasm, and ejaculation. So the process of erection during sexual stimulation, we have parasympathetic nerve fibers or impulses. They release nitric oxide. Whenever you hear nitric oxide, think of dilation of arteries. A lot of workout supplements that a lot of people take contains nitric oxide, which is extremely dangerous because it causes dilatation of arteries. Remember, when you dilate your arteries, that decreases blood pressure. And for the life of me, I never understood why people take those supplements. Um, Anyways, as a result of the nitric oxide dilating the arteries of the penis, the pressure of the arterial blood flow compresses the veins because you're dilating the arteries. So now that dilatation compresses the veins. The blood then accumulates in the erectile tissue, which is cavernosa blood. This leads to the penis swelling and elongating. Okay? These are the steps in order. Orgasm. So orgasm is basically the culmination of sexual stimulation, which is a pleasurable psychological and physiological stimuli. Okay? Orgasm is actually accompanied by two stages, emission and ejaculation. Emission is basically the movement of the semen into the urethra. Ejaculation is the movement of the semen out of the urethra. Two important things. Okay? Now, orgasm is actually a sympathetic discharge stimulation. Okay, so here, let's go over this. We have culmination of intense sexual stimulation. This will activate the sympathetic nervous system that causes contraction of smooth muscles, leading to peristaltic contractions inside the testicular ducts and even the epididymis, all the ducts. Also, there's going to be erectile contractions inside the columns of the penis and rhythmic contractions in the bulbourethral gland, all the glands, prostate gland, and the seminal gland. All of these together lead to emission, where the semen starts to move into the urethra. The semen starts to move from the glands into the urethra. That's emission. Then the next step is ejaculation, where the semen is expelled out of the urethra. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So I already went over this table right here in the first part of the recording. This table is a good review that reviews the functions of the male reproductive organs. It summarizes the male reproductive organ functions. Okay? Make sure that you go over this table. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the hormonal regulation of male reproductive functions. Okay, so the male reproductive functions are controlled by hormones that are secreted from the hypothalamus, from the anterior pituitary, and from the testes themselves. Okay, overall, the function of these hormones is to initiate and maintain sperm cell production. Okay. In addition to that, they also regulate the development and maintenance of male secondary sexual characteristics, like, for example, hair growth, okay, deepening of the voice, and so on and so forth.